And my experience is that the shift in the culture, which starts with the leadership, right? Mm-hmm. We need to do a culture of careers so that, and the way we behave permeates the way people act in the entire organization.
Sure.
But you create a greater culture of transparency and accountability and real conversations, which you mentioned before. I can also imagine it has impact on the engagement bottom up.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the thing is that most surveys says that 95% of all employees do not understand their company's strategy, and therefore they do not know how they can contribute. So the thing is that it's very difficult to cascade the strategy throughout the organization. But if you have a structure around it, the same methodology, and then you can ask Department Q or A to say, how can you contribute to deliver on our bigger strategic goals? And they can start to define initiatives and actions where they have the focus in the business, which will support where you're heading. That means you can have completely different engagement. The platform also enables that any department can have its own strategies or own plans in it besides what's the corporate plan. So they can also monitor or follow on that. And people actually likes to be involved. And if they have been part of defining how can we help to contribute, they also like to own or be accountable for some of it. And it becomes very clear what have promised, not promised. So I think it's a very strong tool for that. Also thinking of a world where we are working remotely more and more.
And you know, a big problem that our businesses are facing right now is retention of people and finding great talent, but also retaining talent. I can very much appreciate that when I know how what I do matters and how it contributes to the success of the organization, the entire organization. My mindset and my attitude towards this organization changes as well, right? So counterintuitively, it is work because you need to feed the system and you need to work towards making sure that we have a clear data. But I think it helps people make the right decisions and prioritize activities so that strategy execution is not done at the corner of the desk, but really is a main point of activities. But also, I know that what I do actually makes a difference.
I mean, there's two things to say to execute on strategy. First of all, it has to focus on two things: run the business and change the business. The other part is that when you speak about the people, most of us are driven by purpose. And it also means that in a time where we have difficulties to retain people or get the right people, they need to buy into the purpose and see they can contribute to it. This helps a lot with that.
Exactly.
So I think that's a very important part of it.
So I am so thrilled that we have this partnership and the relationship together, and we are working together. The clients with whom we are working in Canada really love it. But how do you see? You know, we are a bunch of psychologists and practitioners, and you are geeks that work with technology. How do you see our partnership complementing the businesses in Canada?
Well, the way I see that is that's a necessity.
And by geeks, by the way, I meant it as a compliment, right?
Thank you very much. But you can be geeky in many ways, right? But I think that it, you know, there has to be both. We say the both side of the coin, right? Because you cannot solve, as I think I mentioned here a couple of times, everything with technology. Even that we try to make it very intelligent, you know, that we will have strategy, data, and subscription and stuff like that in the future. But the people who run the organization are people, so they will need all the things that you guys are doing. They will need the support to create the right teams, to engage people, you know, to build the right structure and build the right culture. So it's two necessities that needs to be in place to be capable of succeeding with executing strategy. The infrastructure just makes it possible to have one methodology. You keep the overview, you can anchor your execution of strategy from defining it till it's delivered. That's only one side of it. The other side of it is you have the leadership, you need the coaching, you need whatever, in that sense, to succeed with it. So it's like any other thing, it doesn't work without the people.
So together we can...
Together we will conquer Canada, of course. So,
looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Flemming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the conversation.